We're back in the clouds. Good morning, YouTube. What's up, everybody? I hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. A little less than a week ago, the Asics Gel-Cumulus 25 showed up at my door. Now, I'm gonna try not to, but I can't promise that I won't accidentally call this the Nimbus 25 at some point. But I'm trying to drill it into my mind that is the Cumulus, not the Nimbus. So the Cumulus 25 showed up at my door and I was like, wow, this is a pretty big departure from the colorway from On that we reviewed last week. Completely different end of the color spectrum. I much prefer an all white shoe over an all black shoe. But anyway, I haven't run a Cumulus in a really long time, like not since I first started my channel probably like 3 years ago. They just didn't really interest me. But the way that this one was constructed is a little bit different from the previous versions of the shoe. So yeah, I was interested to give this one a shot. So after one run in it, I posted on Instagram. If you don't follow me there, please go do so. I'm trying to get to 10K. I'm kind of close, so any follow helps. Thank you. I posted on Instagram to see if you would be interested in me reviewing the shoe, and basically everyone said yes. So here we are today with the first impressions video of the Cumulus 25. But of course, first you have to watch the running footage of this beautiful, pristine white shoe that I've already gotten kind of dirty. Before we get started today, I do want to let you know that this shoe was sent to me by Running Warehouse and Asics. However, neither company is going to see this before you. They can't tell me what to say, and all of my opinions are my own. Starting with the upper of the Asics Gel-Cumulus 25, Asics is using an engineered mesh here. And they're saying that more than 90% of the polyester in this engineered mesh is made from recycled materials. So again, we're trying to be sustainable and eco-friendly, which a lot of brands are starting to get on the bandwagon with as well. In the midfoot, there's no crazy overlays, but there is that Asics logo to help just give it a little bit of extra structure. And moving to the back to the heel, we have a nice sturdy heel counter and a pull tab as well. Just judging by looks and feel of this mesh, I thought it was going to be a little bit hot and sweaty, but on the colder days that I've run in this shoe, I have felt some wind passing through that forefoot. It's been really windy in New York and probably just the East Coast in general recently. I'm not a fan, and my feet aren't fans either when the wind's going through the shoe. Anyway, it's breathable. And the material is also soft, so it's a comfortable feeling as well. Turning the shoe this away, I think that I have a nice amount of room in the midfoot of the shoe. I do have a narrow foot, so just keep that in mind. And I was appreciative of the fact that the forefoot opens up a bit and gives your feet, your toes, a little extra room to breathe and spread out a bit. The tongue is nicely padded and it is gusseted. And there's just a good amount of cushion around this ankle. Not too much, not too little, just right. I did end up using the last loophole here just to get a little bit more security around my ankle. But I wouldn't say it was a crazy heel slip, just something that I noticed walking around and I just didn't want to deal with it on the run. But using the last loophole, I had absolutely no problems. The one thing I do want to mention is that I have about 13 miles in this shoe. On my first run, I did 7.5 miles right out of the box, and I did feel a little bit of a hot spot sensation at points, but then on my next run, 5 miles a couple days later, I didn't really feel that. So I guess I'm gonna point it out just in case somebody else has problems with hot spots, but it might have just been a fluke kind of thing. I don't know. Definitely gonna have to test it a little bit more. But other than that, I had no issues with blisters or irritation. And overall, I think for a standard daily trainer upper, this really gets the job done. Now for my favorite part of every shoe, the midsole. And I think that the midsole is what's most intriguing about this shoe, kind of every shoe, but the reason why I wanted to get my feet into another Cumulus. First things first, they're using a full slab of Flight Foam Blast Plus here in the Cumulus 25. It's supposed to be responsive, cushioned, a little bit bouncy. In addition to that, Asics is also incorporating their new Pure Gel technology. What is Pure Gel? Well, if you hadn't guessed from the gel in the name of the shoe, we got some of that Pure Gel in the heel. And basically what this is supposed to do is give you a softer landing and a smoother transition. We also saw this Pure Gel tech in the Nimbus 25 as well. Like I said earlier, I have 13-ish miles in the Cumulus 25, my first run being out of the box, a 7.5 mile run. I was very impressed with how this shoe felt because I remember back to when I first tried the Cumulus. Granted, that was a couple years ago, and I'm sure they've made massive improvements since then. But all I have to go off by is the last one that I ran in, and it was pretty firm and nothing really that special. This feels like it's got a little juice. It's got a little something special to it. And I think it's because of the FF Blast Plus in here mixed with this new Pure Gel technology. I wouldn't call this shoe super soft or very responsive. It does have a firm quality to it that something like the Nimbus, of course, just doesn't have. But it has enough protection that it's gonna get you through any kind of run you wanna throw at it on any given day, really. The majority of my 13 miles in this shoe were easy-ish to a steady pace. I'll put that up here so you can see what my pace is when it comes to that sort of run. I felt like at that easier, steady pace, I wasn't fighting the shoe. It was going with the flow with what I was doing. It was responding well to the pace that I was pushing. It does have a little bit of bounce from the FF Blast Plus, nothing crazy. I did feel it here and there on my run, especially during the moments when I wanted to pick up the pace a bit. I did do some like faster spurts in the shoe to see what it would do. And I think it responded fairly well to that, though it obviously wouldn't be my first choice for a tempo day workout. I think Asics is doing an amazing job at just upgrading every shoe they have in their lineup, and the Cumulus is no different. I'm really impressed with this. Again, it's not anything that's going to wow you, but I think that if you were kind of underwhelmed by the Cumulus in the past, the 25 might change that for you. Now, another thing I know you guys are gonna ask me is how the midsole compares to the big ol' Nimbus 25. I have gotten comments that the Nimbus 25 just didn't get along with you. It's too bulky, it was way too soft, it feels heavy on your feet. I've gotten a couple comments like that. And I'm here to tell you that the Nimbus, the Cumulus 25 is a lot lighter feeling on foot, feels tons more nimble. Obviously, it's supposed to. It's the standard daily trainer. This is the max cushion shoe. This is a firmer shoe with a different foam, and it's gonna feel a little more standard. You're gonna be able to pick up the pace better in the Cumulus 25, and I think it's gonna be a more versatile option. If you want to take it long, you can. If you wanna do the majority of your weekly runs in the shoe, you absolutely can. For me, this was a shoe I took on my daily runs, but also one that really is better suited for an easier, longer type of thing. I just wanted to point them out, put them together, because I've gotten a lot of questions about how they compare. They are very different shoes. Overall, as a daily trainer, I'm really happy with this. I could see a lot of people enjoying this shoe for all different kinds of runs. They've just made it more fun. Turning the Cumulus 25 over, Asics is using their AHAR rubber. They're using two different types of AHAR here. I'm not exactly sure which is which, but one portion of this is AHAR low rubber and the other one is AHAR plus. If you've been watching my channel for some time, you know that I really like AHAR rubber. I think Asics does an amazing job with their outsoles. This shoe is no different. It really grips onto the pavement, has a nice bite to it, makes you feel a little bit more confident on the road, going around turns, all that kind of fun stuff that you do in your daily trainers every single day. And while I don't really have a lot of miles on this shoe yet, the rubber seems to be holding up fine. I don't think it's gonna be wearing down anytime soon. And even the exposed Flight Foam Blast Plus seems to be holding up well as well. So we'll see after 50 miles what it looks like, but so far so good. The Asics Gel-Cumulus 25 is $139.95 on runningwarehouse.com, which compared to the other shoes I reviewed recently is on the cheaper side of things. So if you're looking for a daily trainer for not $150, $160, this is absolutely the place to look. If you're interested in picking up your own pair of the Cumulus 25, I will link them down in the description of this video. Just click that link and pick up your own pair. Keep in mind that is an affiliate link with Running Warehouse. However, it doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can keep making these videos. And hopefully changing some of your minds. Maybe you've completely disregarded the Cumulus line in the past. Maybe you've stopped wearing them because they were boring you, or maybe you've always been wearing them, but you're a little bit worried to try this one. I think in all cases, whoever tries this will be pretty impressed and think that Asics did a really good job in making this shoe better than what it was. I'm definitely gonna take this to 50 miles. I got a lot of shoes to run in, a lot of shoes to take to 50, but we're getting there on some of them, so shouldn't be too long. And I like even more that this shoe is not all black, it is all white. Well everyone, that concludes my first impressions of the Asics Cumulus 25. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell so you can find out every time I upload a new video. Tell me in the comments below, are you a Cumulus person or a Nimbus person? I have another video for you next week, but in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like Heller. See you next time. Wouldn't you sleep great too if you didn't have to pay rent, didn't have to have a job, didn't have to find yourself food? Yeah, I think I'd sleep like her too. Can't blame her.